Welcome to Module 7, Lesson 1. By the end of this lesson, you will know how to make this course stick in real world instead of leaving it in one mess set of ideas you admire and never used. You would have a specific 30-day plan with tools, triggers, and review rhythm that turns learning into visible behavioral change. Let's get into it. It's Monday morning, 1 week after the course ends. You're back in real world. A messy issue lands in your inbox. A meeting starts drifting towards the wrong problem. A senior leader wants your recommendation fast. A colleague makes confident claim with thin evidence. A decision room starts favoring urgency over clarity. Think about this. This is the exact moment when the most learning disappears. Not because the lesson was weak, not because you were lazy, because insight without a usable pattern has no staying power. The professional turns to urgency, inbox pressure, hierarchy, deadlines, and old habits. And the course becomes something they will remember rather than something they do. This lesson is about preventing exactly that. Most professionals do not fail to improve because they did not understand the material. They fail to because they never turned the material into a usable rhythm. What this means is that the course becomes interesting notes, a few memorable phrases, some frameworks they know, and almost no visible change in how they operate under pressure. That matters because this course is not positioned as inspiration. It is a thinking upgrade for ambitious professionals who want to become trusted for judgment. If the thinking does not show up in life work, the transformation promise is broken. Here's what this lesson drives at. The goal is not to remember the course. The goal is to change your default behavior in real decision, real meetings, and real recommendations. Skills stick when it becomes scheduled, repeated, and attached for real world. This is why Module 7 exists, not to close the course politely, but to make the skill actually land. Here's an important idea. It solves the most common implementation mistakes. Real transfer does not come from trying to use something at once. It comes from repeated application of a few high-value moves in life situation. Most capable professionals, when they try to implement a full course, set ambitious intentions and follow through on almost none of them. Because ambition without structure collapses under the first week of real pressure. Let me make this practical with what really works. A strong 30-day upgrade plan works because it reduces ambition and increases consistency. Instead of overhauling your whole professional approach in 1 month, you define 4 specific things: which moments you would look for, which tools you would use, what proof you will show the skill is sticking, and how you would review progress each week. So reflect on this in a moment. When your week gets busy, when the inbox fills, the meeting sticks, and the pressure arrives early, which old habit actually comes back first? Is it jumping to solutions before framing, giving analysis without a clear recommendation, letting a confident voice move the room before the evidence is tested? Now, compare that with what a design implementation sprint creates. You have already named the old habit, you have paired it with a specific tool, you have identified the trigger moment, the exact moment where the old habit would appear and the new move would replace it. And you have a Friday review slot where you check whether the replacement actually happened. This is not vague self-improvement. It is actually behavioral design. Now, let's build on that with the most important boundary for this sprint. Do not choose more than 3 shifts. Choosing 10 feels ambitious and produces nothing. Choosing 3 and executing them reliably across 30 days produces visible compounding change. Here's the important idea that holds the whole sprint together. The skill does not stick because you liked the course. It sticks because you built a usable pattern. Write this down. Do not try to change everything. Make a few strong moves repeatable. Let's take a look at the tool, the 30 days thinking sprint. This thinking sprint runs in 5 moves. Move 1, choose your 3 highest value shifts. Which three behavior changes will create the most visible differences in how others experience your judgment? Pick the one where the gap between your current default and the cost standard is most costly in real work. Move 2. Match each shift in one tool. One shift, one tool. Framing problems better will be problem definition canvas. Making cleaner decision, you'll be looking at decision scorecard. Briefing upward, you should be looking at executive brief template. Catching bias, a tool will be bias audit checklist. If you cannot name the tool, the shift is not specific enough yet. Move 3, define the trigger moment. When exactly would you use the tool? Not when it seems relevant. A specific observable situation. Any decision above a certain threshold. On upward facing recommendation, any meeting where the room is locking too quickly. The more precisely you define the trigger, the more reliable the tool will appear. Move 4. Review weekly. Every week, same time, same format, use the weekly reflection tracker. What did you apply? What changed? What did you avoid? What felt awkward? What started to feel more natural? The review is not optional. It is what converts usage into learning and learning into habits. Move 5. Record visible wins. Define what proof of transfer looks like before the month begins. A stronger executive brief, a decision you slowed down and improved, a meeting intervention you would not have made before, feedback from a manager or senior peer. If you do not define the proof marker, you can complete the month feeling busy without knowing whether your thinking actually changed. Let's take a scenario of Mariam, a former student, is a senior product operations lead in a growing bank. This course made sense to her, but she knows her real risk. Once the week gets busy, she defaults to speed, background, heavy updates, and soft recommendation that stops short of a clear call. So we built a 30 days upgrade plan for her. Now think about this. Notice how specific it is. Shift 1. Better framing. Her problem. She jumps into solution mode too early. Her tool. The problem definition canvas. Her trigger. Any issue that has appeared in more than one team or has been fixed before. Shift 2. Cleaner recommendation. Her problem. She gives analysis without landing the call. Her tool. The recommendation ladder plus the executive brief template. Her trigger. Any update going to director or above. Shift 3. Bias interruptions in meetings. Her problem. She notices senior preference distorting rooms but does not always intervene. Her tool. The bias audit checklist. Her trigger. Any meeting where the room becomes certain too quickly. Her weekly rhythm. Every Friday by 4:30, she uses the weekly reflection tracker and writes one decision she framed better, one recommendation she stated more clearly, and one meeting where she caught a bias pattern or failed to. Her proof markers by day 30, one stronger executive brief, one decision she slowed down and improved, one meeting intervention she would not have made before, and one piece of feedback showing her thinking is being noticed differently. Here's an important idea in this case. Mariam did not say, I will use the whole course more. She turned the material into a real operating rhythm. Specific shifts, specific tools, specific triggers, specific proof. That matters because a weaker thinker treats implementation like a mood. A stronger thinker treats it like a design problem. The design is what survives the week when the email fails and the meeting slacks. Take a moment to reflect on this. Write your own 30 days plan using 5 headings. The 3 shifts you want in your real work, the tool you can pair with each shift, the exact trigger moments for each one, your Friday review time, and the proof you want for the day 30. Keep it tight. Do not choose more than 3 shifts. Do not make the triggers vague. Your workbook has the full 30 days thinking sprint template, Mariam's complete plan written out, the weekly reflection tracker as a 4-week form, and also the proof marker guide for capturing visible transfer evidence. Use this to build your plan before the end of today. Here's what I want you to carry out of this lesson. Make the skill stick by attaching a few tools to real moments and reviewing them every week. 3 shifts, 3 tools, 3 triggers. 1 weekly review. Define proof marker by day 30. Your action plan before the end of today. Block only 20 minutes weekly. Review slot for the next 4 Fridays. Label it 30 days thinking sprint review. Then choose your 3 shifts, 3 tools, and 3 trigger moments. After the first week, ask yourself honestly, are the tools actually entering real work, or are they still living in my notes? That's the first honest signal of whether the skill is starting to stick. See you in lesson 2.